Hi there, welcome to learning. This is a type of match the following. We have to match authors with their books. Steers. The author name is Steers and his book Unstable Earth. Thornbury Principles of Geomorphology. Woodridge. D is missing here in a spelling of Woodridge and W. G. East. Both the writer of The Spirit and Purpose of Geography. Von Richthofen Geomorphology. Now remember geomorphology, the book has been written by also Lobeck, Spark, and now it is von Richthofen. Now see, this is the image of the book The Spirit and Purpose of Geography by Woodridge and W.G. East. And these books we have already seen: Geomorphology by Spark, Principles of Geomorphology, William D. Thornbury, The Unstable Earth by J. A. Steers, Geomorphology by Lobeck. Next question is, the concept of geosynclines was given by James Hall and Dana. See, this is a mountain. Erosion started due to glaciations and river eroded some materials and they brings sediments and deposited in the ocean, and in the trough they are deposited layer by layer. See, now from this condition early the middle of the time it has looks like this, eroded some materials from earlier and now they have deposited many layers from earlier and here also. So this is a geosyncline. So the concept of geosyncline was given by James Hall and Dana. This is only for understanding purpose. Okay. Which of the following earthquake waves are most destructive? It is surface waves. Surface waves are most destructive in nature. They killed, even loss of life and property happens at mass level due to surface waves. Now this is an important topic, so let's have patience on this topic, earthquake waves. Let's study about earthquake waves in brief. Basically there are two types of waves: body waves and surface waves. And body waves further divided into P waves and S waves, and surface waves further divided into love wave and Rayleigh wave. See, in body waves, the P wave, the wave vibrate parallel to the direction of the wave, meaning see, this is a hammer, it is struck and the wave will move in this direction, and similarly the wave also vibrate parallel to the propagation of wave, meaning in the direction of the wave, this type. See, the hammer has struck here, the wave has reached here, now here, now here, and finally here, and this to the surface. So P waves, that is also called primary wave, that propagate in the direction of wave and their waves are parallel to the direction of the propagation of wave, and this wave is the first wave that is struck on the surface, that is epicenter. Hope you understand epicenter. Okay, now after P waves, which wave will come? S wave. S wave, love wave and Rayleigh wave, these three waves propagate perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave, meaning their wave will propagate like this. Their wave is vibrate like this, perpendicular to the direction of wave. Only P wave will be parallel to the propagation of wave. This is also called secondary wave, and P wave is also called sound wave because it can pass through solid, liquid and gaseous state, but S wave can't pass through liquid or gas, it can only through solid. And the surface wave, that is most destructive in nature, and love wave is most destructive in nature. They can damage many properties and lives. You can see they are vibrating this way. Suppose there is building here, if one part is moving on that side and other is that side, will the building survive? It is obvious, no. And a Rayleigh wave, if you are in the field, you can felt, if there is an earthquake, you can felt Rayleigh wave, or in a car. Okay, now let's understand again from the excerpts from NCERT class 11 fundamentals of physical geography. Earthquake. What is an earthquake? Earthquake in simple words is shaking of the earth. The release of energy occurs along a fault. The energy waves travel in all directions. The point where the energy is released is called the focus of an earthquake, also called as hypocenter. And the point on the surface nearest to the focus is called epicenter, where the primary wave will first strike. And earthquake waves. There is an instrument called seismograph, records the waves reaching the surface. Earthquake waves are basically two types, body waves and surface waves. Body waves are generated due to the release of energy at the focus and move in all directions traveling through the body of the earth. Hence the name is body wave. The body wave interact with the surface rocks and generate new set of waves called surface wave. See, the primary wave will strike first, then after a lag of time secondary wave will come and they will strike the nearest surface, and that generates surface wave, that is most destructive in nature. Here again the same thing has been repeated. Primary wave is also P wave is also called primary wave. P waves are similar to sound wave, can travel in gaseous, liquid and solid materials, and P wave vibrates parallel to the direction of the wave. Other three waves vibrate perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Surface waves are considered to be the most damaging waves. Hope you understand about waves. Now, what was our questions? Which wave are most destructive in nature? That is surface wave. Hope it is clear. Now there is some discontinuity in Earth's interior. Why there is discontinuity? When there is change in nature of material or there is change in their density, especially density, the wave may be reflect or refract. So and their discontinuities has been named on researchers' name. See, between the discontinuity between hydrosphere and crust is known as Conrad discontinuity. Similarly, crust and mantle, there is Moho discontinuity because the nature is changing from crust to mantle. We have to memorize these terms. Between crust and mantle, there is Moho discontinuity. Upper mantle and lower mantle, Rapiti discontinuity. Mantle and core, Gutenberg's discontinuity. Upper core and lower core, there is Lehman discontinuity. And remember, baryosphere is nothing but they are core of the earth or whole interior. See here from this picture, there is sea and there is crust. The hydrosphere and the crust, there is discontinuity, that is Conrad discontinuity. And Moho discontinuity between crust and mantle. Mantle is from here to here up to here. This is mantle. That discontinuity is Moho discontinuity between crust and mantle. Rapidity between upper mantle, lower mantle. Gutenberg between lower mantle or mantle and core. Lehman between outer core and inner core, that is Lehman discontinuity. Now see, what is crust? Crust is basically made up of Cl, meaning Si represents silica and Al aluminum, and mantle is Sima, Cl and magnesium. Similarly, core is made up of knife, that is nickel plus ferrous. Ferrous meaning iron. Nickel plus iron, that is knife. Knife, Sima, Cl is clear. Now see, lithosphere, we can see lithosphere, crust and plus the solid part of the mantle, that is lithosphere. And there is asthenosphere, that is the most vicious in nature, where we can find magma. And on asthenosphere, the plates glide or move. We have learned about continental drift theory. So continent glide on asthenosphere. Then comes mesosphere. Mesosphere is nothing but the mantle part is called mesosphere. And baryosphere, that is the core of the earth. Hope it is clear. Just memorize this: Conrad, Moho, Rapiti, Gutenberg and Lehman discontinuity. Moving to the next question. Badland topography is the product of combined action of wind and water is the correct. And deposition and erosion, both the process happen due to wind and water action. Badlands are a type of dry terrain where softer sedimentary rocks and clay-rich soils have been extensively eroded by wind and water. They are characterized by steep slopes, minimal vegetation, lack of substantial regolith meaning unconsolidated material. There is lack of unconsolidated material, and high drainage density also missing, meaning lack. Canyons, ravines, gullies, buttes, mesas, hoodoos, others are geological forms are common in badlands. See, this is an picture of badland topography. So badland is the product of the combined action of wind and water. Now the last question of the day we have to match. Already matched. See, a level surface lightly covered with thin layer of alluvium, that is paddy plain. A plain largely composed of recent alluvium, floodplain. Rivers brings new materials, that is alluvium soil. A deep sea plain, that is abyssal plain. A plane formed by wind action is related to loss plane. Okay, hope you enjoy this lecture. Have a good day.